It's finally here. It's Tuesday, 8 p.m. It's time for CCUK Resin Q&A Live, sponsored by apexresin.co.uk. Don't forget, use my discount code CCUK, save some money. That's right. Tonight and every Tuesday at 8 p.m. we're going live on the only resin talk show where you meet your favorite artists and creators behind the gloves. CCUK Resin Q&A Live. We'll be talking with fellow resin artists and creators and answering all of your questions live. Make sure you stick around. Ask all your questions in caps lock. Get involved, share this video with your friends and family, and enjoy the show. And with that, I'd also like to take a moment to say a massive thank you to everyone that supported this channel, guests, sponsors, members, and subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. We all grow together. The more questions you ask, the better the live will be. To be creative and ask away. Make sure at the end of the video you give it a thumbs up and comment. That's how we all keep growing. But for now, sit back, grab a drink, relax, and enjoy the show. Evening, everyone. How are we all doing? Hope we're doing okay. It's been a while since we did a live. How are you all feeling about that? I hope you've not missed them too much, but we're back to it. It's Q&A Live, as we do every Tuesday, and we've got a fantastic artist for you tonight, so I hope you're looking forward to it. We've got Sheri Hart. Now, I always remember her channel because it rhymes a little bit. It's I think it's Resin Art by Sheri Hart, so it rhymes quite well. So just remember, before we start, let's have those questions in caps lock so that Lisa can see them and send them through to me so that we can go through those questions in order. But it's great to see so many of you already in here. I've actually really missed these lives, which sounds crazy after 30 days of lives. But it's great to see you all. But before we go any further, let's meet Sheri. Oh, hang on. We've got the wrong format. That's better. Hi, Sheri.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm all blushing now with you calling me a fantastic artist.
I think you are. I've seen a few of your videos, and I think we started talking just as you started your channel months and months ago.
Before I started it, yeah. But when I was just thinking about starting it.
Yeah. And I'm guessing you're UK based.
Yeah.
So that's interesting in itself because we've had more from the US recently. So it's good to have a mix of people from the US and people from the UK.
It is.
And everywhere else.
I want to clear up my channel name.
Okay, sorry.
So we may as well launch straight into it. Okay.
Let's go for it.
So my original channel name was Sheri Hart Resin Art.
Okay.
And that's because I was struggling to find a name, and there's a few Sheris in the resin community. So yeah. I wanted to put my surname into it. And of course, Sheri Hart Resin Art rhymes. But then after a few weeks of doing videos, I decided I didn't like having the word art in the title because I don't consider what I do art because most of it goes badly wrong, or at the very least, I don't finish it and I don't decorate it up and stuff. So I didn't like calling it art. So I took the word art out of my channel name, basically. So it's now just Resin by Sheri Hart.
I still think it's art. Do you know what? Even when it goes wrong, sometimes you get the best art when it goes wrong.
I'm hoping to improve on my finishing and decorating techniques. I've got one of those 4-in-1 sanders on its way. So I'm
all right. Okay. The less resin one.
Yeah.
I've not tried that. I mean, that's the thing. I've tried different ones, but I do quite a bit of woodwork. So none of them ever compare to a Dremel for me. Just a normal orbital sander and a Dremel, but it's great that it's compact. And I think it's USB chargeable, which is great. But because I've already got an orbital sander and a Dremel, I don't see the point in spending another 100 quid.
Right, exactly, yeah.
But no, we've got a few in chat already. So just to remind everyone, any questions, I'll get Lisa shouting at me if you don't put them in caps lock, because that way she'll miss them and we want to do it in order so that everybody gets the questions read. But so tell me about what first got you into resin.
I sort of stumbled across it back in 2018 or 2019. I was doing cake decorating for a few years, but I really struggled with that. The house I lived in at the time had a really tiny kitchen, and I just couldn't cope with all the mess. So I got kind of bored of it because it was more messy than enjoyable.
Yeah.
And then on YouTube, actually, it wasn't at first, it wasn't a resin video that popped up. It was something called gelatin art.
Okay, I've not heard of that.
Look up gelatin without the E, so gelatin art market. It's doing artwork with jelly, basically.
Wow.
And there's all these fancy tools for like squirting the dyes in to make petal patterns in a bowl of jelly, basically.
Can you eat it afterwards now?
I assume so. I didn't look that far into it, but because I was watching videos about that, I think that's what led to a resin video popping up.
What, resin and jelly? I've not tried that yet.
No, but because you're working with some sort of art, a resin video popped up. And for some reason, I went down the resin route rather than the gelatin route.
Okay. It's probably better for your health, because I'd end up eating all the jelly. You know, you can't make jelly and not eat it. Yeah. So what sort of videos were you watching when you first got into it that got you sort of inspired?
I can't really remember. With it being so many years ago,
I think there only would have been a few artists around then. That's why I'm asking, actually, because I don't think there's been that many that have been consistently on for 6 years now.
I'm getting confused. There was it was either Julie Coates with the pouring your heart out, or I'm sure there was another channel that has the word pouring in. There's quite a few, isn't there? That probably have the word pouring in. So I'm not sure if it was Julie's channel or a different pouring. But back then, I didn't really watch much YouTube. I just kind of bought the kit and a few molds and sort of winged it. It's only when I came back into it more seriously, which is only last September, that I've properly watched videos. Because I didn't have the space to work before, and having kids that were younger, I didn't have a spare room or anything. It's only since last September that I've got more time because the kids have grown up, and I've got use of one of their bedrooms when they're not here for decent chunks of time.
Yeah.
So it's only since September. And when I started looking back into it in September, the first channels that popped up were Daniel Cooper, Steve McDonald, Julie.
Yeah.
And I think Louise Singleton was one of the earlier ones that I watched as well.
Spoke to Louise the other week, actually. I'm trying to get her to come on live as well. So we'll see. Maybe in the future.
Yeah. So, there were a few channels that sort of inspired me to get back into it.
Yeah. So what was the first piece you did? That's always an interesting question for me.
Now, I knew you were going to ask this, but I don't know. Right. I honestly don't know what the very first piece was. But, when you first start with the starter kit, you get these ball molds and square molds and stuff. Well, you also get ashtray molds. So I have still got some of my earliest pieces, not necessarily my first, but my earliest.
Okay.
Now, I am sort of obsessed with pond sceneries. Not that I can do them yet. I just like looking at them.
What, you mean like the layered fish in between the layers of epoxy? Yeah, they look amazing. Not tried it yet.
So my hubby is a match angler. He's fished all his life. And I even did it for a few years. So I've got a massive array of fish to show you if you want to see them.
Oh, definitely. In my young years, I used to do a lot of match fishing and carp fishing, but I just haven't had time recently.
Right. Well, so bringing you back to when I first started, one of my earliest pieces, I used an ashtray mold to make a pond scenery. Well, this is more fish tank scenery because of the pink and white pebbles. So I made the ashtray, and then I taped up the dip
Right.
and then poured more resin into the middle, and the tape held the resin,
in.
The dipping. So there's a sort of a fish tank scene with one of my homemade fish in it.
Yeah.
But then I tried to do one to look more like a pond, but the blue's too dark, so it doesn't look that good. But
I don't know. It could be a nighttime pond.
They're not bad for my early days when I was just winging it, are they?
Well, do you know, I still make mistakes now, and that's part of it. I mean, I've just spent 3 days doing a sci-fi piece for Kernitz Creations. They're doing a sci-fi collaboration on the 30th. And I spent hours and hours and hours using glow-in-the-dark pigments on like a Millennium Falcon to highlight all the little lights and things like that, so it looked real. Yeah. And then some writing on the back of it. And then I filled it with a deep pour resin, which basically is protected against UV, so none of the UV rays can get through to make it glow in the dark.
I wouldn't have known that.
Still looks cool, but yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't even think. But obviously, if you're using a resin that's UV protected, the UV light isn't going to be able to get through, which is what makes these pigments glow. So yeah,
right.
It was fun, but I did manage to get that piece done, so that was good. The giant clock.
Cool. That's cool.
So we've already got some questions coming through, but I've got a couple more I want to go through first of all. So if you are asking questions in chat, they are being sent through, so we're not going to miss any. So tell me about your worst piece, because everybody loves to know about the disaster pieces, a bit like my meth beer that I've got.
I've got so many, but yet I can't think of them off the top of my head. I haven't brought any of my bad pieces in to show you. I've only been prepared with bringing in my nice pieces. To be honest, my really bad pieces probably went in the bin. I can't remember.
Yeah, I could never throw him away.
I really can't remember. Just a lot of projects are bad.
That was gone wrong.
I'll tell you what. Well, it depends. I suppose it depends. There's different degrees of what you consider bad, isn't there? Because you're critical. You're more critical of your own work.
Yeah. So,
and I haven't brought them up to show you, but one of my videos that's already out is the pond scenery in a bag.
Okay, yeah. Like the goldfish bag ones.
Yeah, so that's not bad. They're not bad in themselves, but the issue is not knowing how much sand to put in with the resin, and then the resin's separated from the sand, so the sand's floating, and then there's plain water underneath, because you make them upside down, don't you?
Yeah.
So the sand's there, and then there's more sea at the bottom. So when you turn it up, the sea's at the bottom, and the sand's up here. So I don't know. There's just so many that I can't. And going back so many years, I can't possibly tell you what my worst was.
Okay.
I've just got a lot of, not necessarily bad looking, but just not. Actually.
Oh, we've got one.
Actually, very recent. See, I'm trying to think back, because I'm thinking, what's my worst piece? I'm automatically assuming to think back years ago when I'm bound to have been bad at it. Yeah. But actually, my worst pieces are my blooms that I only did videos only a couple of weeks ago.
Right. So, I haven't seen that one. What went wrong?
A 10 blooms compilation failure.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, but I might go back and watch that.
Yeah.
Did you get a successful one though in the end, or?
No, I deliberately did. I deliberately put the video out with only failures on. It's a failures compilation. Yeah. But I've got another video coming out in a couple of weeks, which is where I've had a bit more success. So.
Oh, good. I think the biggest thing is with blooms, just get to know your resin and get to know what temperature works for that. As long as you get that, and don't overcomplicate it. So I think when you start out, just do the alcohol ink ones with your whatever paste you're going to use, rather than your micas or your pigment paste, because they're always going to be heavier. Then when you've nailed that, then you move on to the next bit.
Yeah. And the only other real fails that I have, I would say, are where I've just left too many bubbles in, or it just looks, generally rubbish because I haven't finished it right. I can't say I've had a flash cure or something failed in that sense. It's just I don't finish my pieces.
Yeah. I had a big failure as well last week, which I'm still going to put the video out. I've not edited it yet. But Lula, when she's on this live, she always jokes to me about having an OnlyFans channel. And there's always a particular name in the news when it comes to anything like that. And I designed a coaster around that. And I put some lace in it. And it just bubbled everywhere. But I'm still going to put the video out. I think it's always good to show your mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's how we all learn at the end of the day. But is there a technique that you've not done yet that you've seen or that you want to try?
No, not really. And until recently, I wasn't even interested in doing blooms, to be honest. Okay. So I think certain techniques are just so saturated. Everybody's trying them that it bores me to watch them, which means it bores me to learn about how to do them.
Okay.
So blooms is last couple of weeks is the first time I've even tried blooms. So I'm just bored of watching Larry Mars or bored of watching Crackle or bored of what, you know what I mean? So there's no specific techniques that I want to do. I'm not saying that I won't circle back to them. I'm not saying that I don't appreciate when somebody does do a nice one. It's just that I'm too bored of them to want to learn it myself right now. But when I run out of ideas, I'll circle back to things that I haven't seen for a while. Yeah.
Well, I'm not stuck for ideas at the minute. I've come up with 300 different ideas for videos. So I think that's my next 5 years of content. It's just about actually getting the time to record them, because that's what I like to do. I like to get all of my ideas out on paper. And then if somebody else does it, so be it. They can do it in the meantime. But I know I've got it on this piece of paper that I'm just going to work through a list. And eventually, when those 300 are done, I'm going to be really happy that is a great mix of different projects, different techniques, and everything like that. And I will always circle back to blooms just because I love them.
What I do want to do a bit more of is I want to get more into sceneries.
Yeah.
The Jurassic, I did the Jurassic collaboration, and that took me about 4 weeks in around work and family life. It took me about 4 weeks. It ate up all of my pre-recorded videos. I ended up running out of content, but I was so proud of the results that I do want to kind of, at some point, I'll have more time. I'll, decrease my work hours, or kids will disappear altogether, or whatever. There'll be at some point where I can start focusing on that. Other than that, I wish I'd got into UV before I got into epoxy, because UV, I'd love to do more UV jewelry, and because of the lack of space and time, UV is something you can just quickly pick out. I've actually now, over the last couple of weeks, I've had a carrier bag just with UV stuff, just ready to go UV stuff, so that if I've just got one spare hour and I have to do it on kitchen table, you can just quickly whip your stuff out, do a bit, and then put it away again.
Yeah.
If I started with UV all them years ago, I might be flying by now. But
I actually, strangely, I'm coming round to UV again. I've always been more of a fan of epoxy than UV. But since I've upgraded my light a little bit and I've got a half decent UV resin, that makes a big difference. But yeah, I've interestingly, I had a date at the weekend, and the great thing with UV is you can just whip it out, the UV resin, and I created this date, just a little pendant. I says, there's a pack of charms, pick a charm, and then I just put some UV resin in, put the charm in, put some chameleon powder on the back, and then backed it in black. And within 5 minutes, there was a necklace ready to give somebody.
And now she's watching this, she's going to think, he conned me. I thought he'd spent a good chunk of money on that. He just
no, she still be make it. That was part of the process. Was I said, you pick the charm and I'll show you. I can turn
sorry, you asked her to pick the I see.
Yeah. I didn't pick it for her. I think you've got to let them pick if you're making something.
So she knows.
As far as I know, she likes it.
Cool.
But I'll find out over the next few days if I hear back. But no, I mean, I know what you mean, because the bigger projects, they take a lot of time. It's like that clock, it's probably, well, the drip mold part, the square part, that was 2 months worth of drips from like projects. And I just poured them into this random mold to create that. And then when I demolded it, I was like, that looks like it needs to be a clock face. Then I found some wood, had to cut the wood to size. And then I was like, actually, I want a digital clock in there as well. So then I had to get that. And then obviously there's the resin pouring as well. So there's probably about 15 hours of work that's gone into that for a, 40-minute video.
Yeah.
So, but the big projects, do you know what? That I'm never going to get rid of. I mean, at the end of the day, it's perfect for me. And hopefully that will stand the test of time and it'll be here in 5-10 years time. The smaller projects, I'm not so overprotective over, I think is probably the way to put it. But again, it's like even the big ones. So I'll give everyone a bit of a sneak peek. So this is going to be my sci-fi collaboration.
All right, yeah.
But in there, you can just see in the right light, there's a bit of wood in the back. And I spent 2 hours carving that to look like a Martian rock.
Right.
But then, because I put the dark back on, you can't really see it.
No.
But anyway, it's always interesting. But we get loads of questions come through. And interesting you mentioned jewellery, because I've got 3 trays of Petrie to demold tonight.
All right. Now, do you know what? I've only just bought myself a cabochon mould.
Have you?
All the years on and off that I've been doing it, I've never had a cabochon mould. I think of cabochons as looking like old lady jewellery.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The old cameos that were all that size, weren't they?
Yeah, but then I'll see someone else make something and it's really pretty, the cloud effect or whatever, and I'll think they don't have to look like old ladies' jewellery. But then I still can't get my head over. I forget about that video and then I still come back to it looks like old ladies' jewellery. But anyway, I've bought myself one now. I'm just going to try and force myself. Because that's
what I found is you know what, the hardware makes a big difference. Do you know when you're doing the jewellery?
Yeah.
It's like everybody, if you use like the antique bronze ones, I think I can see what you mean. They look like they're from the 1960s or something like that. But you can even get like the black backings now where it looks like it's been powder coated in black. And I think they're quite modern. If you use it with something like, I don't know, a chameleon pigment or something like that, they really pop then. And I think they're a bit more modern. Or I've done some with like neon glow stuff in.
I don't know why, but that's just reminded me as well of something else that's got me thinking about doing jewellery again. Is there's a channel that popped up randomly and I now subscribe to. Dewdrops Resin Design.
I'll have a look.
She makes gorgeous jewellery, but it involves wire work. So now I'm trying to get into wire work as well. So I've bought myself some wire, but I haven't touched it yet because I'm just like, I don't know where to start.
I just think that would just take too much time away from my resin. It does look amazing, though, what people can do with the wire work. So we've got quite a lot of questions already coming through. So if it's okay with you, are you all right if we start going through them?
Yep.
So Dawn has sent about 6 questions. So she wants to know. So we're going to go through those first of all. So what inspires you when you're planning your projects?
Nothing. Literally, I just look at my box of molds and think, I'll do that today.
Okay.
Or I'm dictated to by how much time I've got, whether it's going to be something that once it's made, so in 24 hours it's done, or whether it is something I'm going to have to mess about with after the fact, or if it is something that I'm going to have to mess about with after the fact, have I got somewhere safe to put it? Because I'm in my daughter's bedroom, everything's packed away in boxes and put under the bed when I can't use the room. So is it going to get ruined if it's squashed into this box or whatever? So it's all dependent upon what I've got time for and what I'm in the mood for as well. I don't want to just repeat the same old thing because I know that'll be quick, I'll just do that. And then 3 weeks out of 6, I'm doing the same project.
It makes sense. I think you have to have some variety, or you just really niche down and only do one thing. So it's either or. Dawn's also asking, what's the favourite mould you've ever poured?
I love the coffee cup shaker moulds.
Okay. I've not seen those.
Right. I've got some half done here. Right. These are my scraps. These are my scraps. So you can, I don't know if you can make out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So you've got your coffee cup bit and you've got a flat bit, and then it comes with some sugar, a mold for sugar cubes and coffee beans and ice and lemon. You can make coffee cups or iced tea or whatever. Okay. So I've got some half made here. These are my scrap pieces for when I get my sander. I don't know why. I'm just obsessed with the idea of shaker coasters, and because they look like coffee cups. Yeah, I think they look a bit more unique than just a round shaker coaster, for example. So I'm just obsessed with doing different ones of these. Now, I have done a couple of sets to look like coffee. So I have done a proper set of these, which my daughter's got at her dad's house. She don't drink coffee, but she just liked the coasters, so she took them to her dad's house. But a secret, I have done an amazing scenery in one of these sets, and that is Saturday's video. Oh, and I tell you what, that is my favouriteest project ever. And when I say about a lot, when I say I don't finish my projects, this one is just perfect. If you've seen a few of my videos, go and watch this one, because I swear to God, you're in for a treat. In my opinion,
it goes right.
I couldn't do any better.
Oh, okay. Well, I look forward to that. When's that?
My favourite mould is my coffee cup moulds.
Okay. Is there a mould that you really want that you haven't got at the moment?
No, not that I can think of at the top of my head. No, it's like all these Froggy Fridays. I'm not bothered. Yeah. I don't want a frog. I just don't want to make frogs. You know, no, I pretty much buy what I want when I see it. When I want it.
I don't know. Do you sell your pieces?
Nope.
Okay. Well,
I'm too scared about the insurance and things.
Okay. No. That's fine. I mean, Dawn was asking if you sell them, how do you come up with the pricing? There's lots of different ways to do it, Dawn, but I would say charge what you think is fair, and if people like it, they can buy it. It's as simple as that.
Steve McDonald has got a video on how he prices it, and he literally weighs the pieces and works out the proportion of if his resin costed 20 quid and he used that much, you know, he works it out like that. But where it becomes a bit more your own thoughts into it, I don't know the right words, but then you have to assign yourself an hourly rate. Well, what do you think is a fair hourly rate? Is it the minimum wage, or is it equivalent to what your last job that you gave up?
But again, you've got to factor in knowledge as well, because some of these techniques might take you ages to learn, things like that. And I think that should be factored in. You've got to factor in your mold wear as well, because you will only get so many pieces out of a mold. There's all sorts to factor in. So I say price it where you want, and if people want to buy it, they'll buy it. If they don't, they won't. Simple as that.
I'll just give you a dead quick example. I made a night light. That's my last week's video.
Oh yeah, they're the plug-in ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not that I'm going to sell it, but just out of curiosity, I just looked on eBay for resin night lights. I didn't expect to find any. I didn't realize it was such a popular thing. But yeah. So I would just, if I wanted to sell this, I'd look on eBay, I'd find the price range, the cheapest and the most expensive, and probably put it somewhere in the middle. And if it didn't sell, knock it down a couple of quid.
Yeah. And that's the thing. People can, I think if you're doing a true art piece rather than just a generic where you're pouring 50 at once or something like that, that's where it's slightly different, because you've got to factor in how many hours you put into it sometimes as well. So, and then if you go the extra mile, so do you sand it? Do you then top coat it? And all of that, I think you've got to factor in. So price it the way that you want to. And then if people want it, they can buy it. If they don't, they won't. Simple as that. And then you lower it. Do you have any go-to colours that you normally reach for and use?
Ooh, now I can answer this one.
Okay.
For things like flowers, I've got my... Now, do you know, people, I see a lot of creators who have all these interesting, these holographics, these mermaid whatevers. I've got my basic mica powders.
Yeah.
My chameleon powders. Yes, not flakes. I'm going to buy flakes next month. Chameleon powders. And I've got my chrome powders. I love that red chrome powder.
Yeah. I've just started playing with those.
I've put that on a project that I've only just edited today. That won't come out for a few weeks. Yeah, anything to do with flowers, that red chrome powder is going to go on it. And then obviously my browns and things for my coffee cups.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the biggest project you've poured and how long did it take?
So that would be my Jurassic, but whether you can call that pouring, because that was, apart from to make the dragon egg.
Yeah.
The rest of it was, well, there was a bit of UV to make some trees and things, some little tree branches and stuff, but most of that was paint work, clay and painting clay and stuff. So that one, like I say, took about 4 weeks, but that's just doing it a couple of hours, 3 nights a week, let's say, for example. Unfortunately, I can't afford to give up my job and say, right, I spent 10 hours solid on this project and it was finished, you know what I mean? So I'm working on a project at the moment, which has taken me even longer than that.
Oh.
I'm not going to spoil the surprise, though. It's okay, sort of surprise. I'll sort of spoil the surprise. I'm recreating photos of my cats using UV resin, a la Johnny.
Johnny.
So you know how he draws pictures and then uses UVs over them? Well, I can't draw to save my life, so I'm recreating from photos of my cats.
Okay.
I actually did a live 3-4 weeks ago.
Okay.
Where I just set up my camera and I just UV resined my cat photo whilst waiting to see if anyone joined and quickly glancing over. Oh, hi. Do you know what I mean? So actually,
it's quite hard actually when you do a creation live. You can't really see the chat, can you?
That's where the photo cuts off. By the way, I haven't cut his bum off.
Yeah.
So I am doing that for all 4 of my cats right now, and that has taken me weeks and weeks and weeks, and I've just nearly finished my 4th cat. What I'm going to do with them after I've finished, I don't know. My original plan was to put them in coasters.
Okay.
So instead of just photos in coasters, it's my recreation of the photos in coasters. But for some reason, they're getting really bent when I cure them, so I don't know. But other than that, let's say these maybe took 3 days.
Okay.
Sort of beach sceneries, because I did a layer of resin, then I put some pebbles in, and then I did another little layer of resin, then I put some more pebbles in, and then I did another layer. Do you know what I mean? So maybe something like that took 2 or 3 days. But again, it's around work and around family life, so it's not a straight...
Yeah, you can't do 24 hours.
Yeah.
No, cool. I think mine was probably my universe at the minute. That's probably the biggest piece I've done. 4 litres of resin and about 8 days worth of work. So, but there we go. Paul is asking, what colour pens are good for drawing on resin?
I've no idea. Like I say, I don't finish my pieces. I bought a box of Artex markers a couple of months ago. I've not even opened them. But I bought them based on Lula raving about them. So
I know she's using. I've tried the Let's Resin ones as well, because they do like the acrylic markers as well, and they work on resin. Not so good for drawing on the mold, I found, but they're good at drawing on the finished pieces. So they're quite good. But there's loads of different brands of them coming out, to be honest with you. I think the key is to just make sure they're workable with resin. Petra's saying, which technique do you enjoy doing the most? Hi, Petra, by the way.
I've got such a varied bag, haven't I? I've already shown you such a variety of stuff that I've done that I can't really say I've got a specific.
Oh, what? You said Leela's name and she turned up in chat. There she is.
I don't know. No, I don't have a specific technique.
Okay. And Lisa's telling me not to zoom in too close because everybody will see my nose hairs, apparently. But there we go.
You got me paranoid about mine now as well.
I know, but there we go. But no, I think. Do you know what? I think the more time you put into a piece, the better it's going to be. But as well, you don't want to be spending weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks on one single piece if you're doing it for a channel's purpose as well, because otherwise you're only going to get one video out a month. And again, I see some amazing artists out there where they get to do it full time, but they still only come out with one video every fortnight. And it's because they do huge, giant projects. And again, the only problem with that is the bigger the project, the bigger the risk of something going wrong. And all it takes is one layer or one technique, whatever you're doing, to go wrong, and you ruin the whole piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lisa's saying it's just me. You're fine. So thanks, Lisa. I always get my mods bullying me on this channel. I don't know why. But no, so talk about your channel then. Where are you at the minute, subscriber-wise?
113.
Okay.
And
so
literally in the last 7 days, I got 9. So I was on 104 last Tuesday.
Okay.
It's a slow burner.
It takes time. But on that note, shout out your channel and everybody in chat now, go and subscribe.
It's Resin by Sheri Hart. I've got my name. Is my name not on the screen? I put my name in when I signed into the stream.
Yeah, and it should be. Hang on, let me take that off. There you go, Sheri Hart.
So Resin by Sheri Hart.
So do me a favor, everyone in chat. Take 2 seconds now and just go onto YouTube and subscribe. There we go. You're at 114 now.
Oh, thank you.
Under Chevy's. I think it's the first time we've had you in as well, Under Chevy. So nice to meet you. Oh, Lynn subscribed as well. Mary subscribed. Dawn's going to add you to a shout out list as well. So hopefully you're great. Louisa subscribed. So there we go. It's working already. So what are your plans for the channel long term? Have you got any plans? Have you thought that far ahead?
Well, when I first started, I hoped for, I won't say planned, but I hoped for being able to make a little bit of an income from it.
Yeah.
I can partially retire in 5 and a bit years. And obviously it'd be nice to have a bit of side income in readiness for when that happens. So that instead of waiting till then and then I'm scrambling to try and make more money. I've got a second income in place. But I'm not really hopeful for that anymore because it's since doing YouTube that I've found out how little AdSense pays you. And I'm at the moment, I'm wary of not that I'm even at the membership stage yet, but I'm wary of even opening up memberships because I don't feel like I have anything to offer people over and above to expect them to pay me something on a monthly basis. I don't feel like I have anything that I would be able to offer in addition to what the rest of the subscribers would get. So
my advice to you there is I think you're underestimating yourself.
Probably.
Most people with YouTube, what they say is as long as you think you're one step ahead of somebody else in your knowledge, you're teaching people how to do it. So providing you've done a few projects, which you have, I know, then you're probably a step ahead of somebody else who's just starting out, so they can still learn from you. And that's the key. As you keep growing, your knowledge keeps growing. Hopefully you bring your audience with you through that. And that's the thing. Nobody's got to be perfect at any of the techniques. And actually, some of the best videos I've watched are where people make mistakes, because I go, oh, I'm not going to do that.
And that's it. In my channel description, if I remember it rightly, I say words to the effect of tutorials, and I try and make a joke. Well, I've made a joke. Whether I've tried or not is a matter of opinion, but I've made a joke of what not to do tutorials, because I'll either do something really good and I will really teach you something good, or the project will fail and I'll say, well, at least I've shown you what not to do.
Yeah, and that's the it's like, even that coaster that's gone wrong, I've kept the footage. I'm going to edit it into a video and say, here we go, it was a disaster, but I'm going to show you the coaster anyway.
I've got a box full of stuff that when I get that sander, I'm going to make a sanding video. Now, it won't be a proper official review video. I've bought it myself.
Yeah.
But it's content for a video, which doesn't involve me having to get out all of my epoxy and mess about. And B, because, in fact, I'll tell you a little bit of a story about the sanding then. I only had a Dremel, and you can't do, unless I'm using the wrong type of Dremel, you can't Dremel a coaster because you can only go around the edges, can't you?
Depends what bits you put in it.
Right. Well, I've got a little handheld thing that has these tiny drums.
Yep.
So I've tried Dremeling a coaster, and I've ended up gouging holes in it like a centimetre in, because that's as far as
you apply pressure, you will. The only way to do it with those little sanding drums is you've got to keep them perfectly horizontal as you're going across the surface. Do you mean like the little wheels?
So you can even go into the middle, but then don't the actual drill itself, with it being, you know,
don't point it down.
Keep it perfectly flat. Going further.
Let me see if I've got one I can show you. So let's have a look. I'm not going to show you with a Dremel because I'm not going to go outside to get one, but I have got a multi-tool next to me. And let me just grab a coaster. There we go. So, I keep the multi-tool in the house just for doing small jewellery pieces. But if you've got these sanding drums, then picture this being your coaster. Hang on. There we go. What you want to be doing is keeping that flat and keeping that flat at the same time and working your way across like that, across the surface, and it gives you an even sand. The only time it will make indentations is if you go like that.
Yeah.
But it should, even if you do that, if you're sanding it, you're going to put a top coat on and then it will level itself out anyway.
All right. But
so literally just try and keep it horizontal as you're going round.
But when you're holding the drill, surely there's going to come a point where the drill is wider than your attachment, so the drill head hits there, so then you can't go any further in without going angled.
But it depends. You can move the coaster and you can move the Dremel, so you can always pretty much keep it horizontal. You can even hold it like this and do it like that if you find that easier. As long as you're keeping it reasonably level to the surface of the coaster, then that should work. Or there's other bits you can get as well. So, I mean, even little things like this, where they're perfectly flat, and this is actually a stone wheel, but you can use that on that, and that will scratch up the surface and buff it up still, and that stays flat.
See, this is, I don't know how to use all the stuff, do I?
Yeah,
but anyway.
It just depends. And then you can get all sorts like polishing pads and things like that, which you can just polish everything out with as well.
Yeah. Well, so what happened was then I had some coasters that had gone wrong and I was no way going to throw them away. I would have been absolutely gutted. They were my second attempt and they were a gift to somebody. So there was, I'd not thrown them away, but I've put one set in my trash pile and then I made them and they went wrong again. And then I remembered we've got a sander in the DIY cupboard, and with it being summer, I thought I'm going to try and sand these. So I was like, oh my gosh, I can sand and top coat. So I've made a success of these coasters by sanding them. That video will be out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. It makes such a difference, though.
But I can't film me sanding outside. So therefore, when I get this sander, so bringing it back to the main point, when I get this sander, I'm making a sanding video purely because it's something that I'll be able to do inside with my camera set up.
Yeah, I think McFufu's just explained what you mean. So what you're saying is obviously when your shank's in there, that won't go all the way into the center without you tilting it.
Yeah.
Is that, yeah, like that. So that's right. Now you can actually get longer bits with longer shanks on, but that I think will be a bit OTT. What I think what you want to do is get yourself a slightly gritted piece. So something like a stone piece, what's flat, and just use that upside down. I think that'll make it simpler for you. I mean, with coasters, I'll be honest, I just use my orbital sander. My handheld orbital sander, and just quickly go over the surface like that, and it keeps it all flat.
Right.
So that might be an easier option than your Dremel. If it's just to go around the edges, then I normally use the same as you, one of these little sanding wheels, and I'll just literally go around the edges like that. So, and again, I don't mind that a bit of angle because it'll actually take the sharpness off them. So there's those. Oh, you're up to 125 subs now already. So there we go. You're growing already. Where are we? So what's one piece of advice that you would give to new resin artists that you wish you'd been told at the start?
What a rabbit hole it is. No.
Yeah.
If I'd have been told what a rabbit hole it is, I probably would never have started. It is, I would say, I mean, aside from the starter kit that might have certain molds in it.
Yeah.
Right. If it was me personally, and if I had done months of research into what molds are available and whatnot, I'd have bought myself this coaster molds and made nothing but coaster molds, made nothing but them, get good at them. And then, so, because you constantly, oh, I want that mold, and then you make that, and then you want another mold, and then you make that. But you might not be doing them well, and you might just be making them for the sake of making them, and then moving on to the next one. So you're spending a lot of money whilst not making anything really beautiful. Yeah. So I think, and it's hard to tell anybody to stick to a budget or, cut out anything that's not essential. Buy some resin, buy a certain mold or a certain set of molds you like, and only use them and then maybe play about with the different types of colorings, because like I say, I'm stuck on just micas. Yeah. I mean, I've got alcohol inks and opaque inks, but I don't know what they all do. So, and what they're best for. So I'm just throwing stuff in and hoping it works. So yeah, if I had my choices now, I'd stick to a certain mold or a certain set of molds and make them until you can make them beautiful. Or like coaster molds, just buy coaster molds, not necessarily the shakers, just buy coaster molds and practice different designs. Make a beach scene, make a pond scene, do a velvet, just do nothing but coaster.
With it, yeah. And that's the thing, if you get a mold that's quite universal, you can try loads of different techniques. I'd agree with that. Yeah. And then the only other bit I'd add to that is just have fun with it. Just throw everything in and see what happens, and you might come up with a new technique. But again, and if you need help, reach out to somebody in the community. Most of us are really friendly and will give you advice if something goes wrong. Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. What with regards to the channel then, obviously I suppose one of your first goals is to hit that 1,000. How long have you been going for at the minute, and how many videos have you got?
My first video went out sometime in May, middle of May, I think. So only about
3 months.
July, August. 14 weeks. It feels like I've done more than 14 videos, but yeah, around about that.
And are you aiming for one a week, or how are you doing?
I do one a week. Yeah. Even if I've managed to batch record, like I've just had 2 weeks off work. Today was my first day back.
Okay.
And I've managed to batch record 5 videos, or batch record 5 projects in that 2 weeks. But I'll still only post one a week because that gives me the breathing space, because I can't craft again till weekend. And then I've got the use of the room for 2 weeks, but I'm at work. So I've only got use of the room for the evenings for 2 weeks. And I'm working overtime as well because I've just had an £890 car repair bill. So I don't even have all of Saturday free to craft. So so one a week, and that gives me breathing space to catch up on, because in 2 weeks' time I won't have use of the room again, probably until Christmas. So I'm still going to run out of content. But what I'm doing is I'm making shorts. So when I the first time I ran out of content, I think I had done 12 videos by then.
Okay.
And I ran out of content, and I thought, what am I going to do? So I went back and I made shorts for each one of those previous 12 videos.
Yeah.
And then I've gone a couple more weeks with some long form, and then ran out of content again. So made shorts for them couple. Yeah. So basically every week that I run out of content, I'll make shorts for the previous batch, So if I've successfully done 6 weeks of long form, I'll do shorts for them 6 weeks. So I batch do shorts releases.
Okay. And then obviously that can lead people back to your long form content as well, if you link it in.
That first week that I posted shorts, they gained me about 10 subscribers.
You had a power cut. What's going on? We're back.
I don't know. That was strange. I gained about 10 subscribers in that first week when I did shorts, and it does wonders for your channel view numbers.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, they don't go towards your monetization. You either get monetized on long form or you get monetized on shorts.
No, you get monetized on both, but you make a pittance off of shorts. So that's what they mean. So unless you're getting tens of millions of views from your shorts, you're probably better off focusing on the long form. And where I use shorts is to try, I suppose I might do a brief demold or something like that, and then I'll put the full creation video underneath, so that hopefully people will see that and go, oh, actually, I want to see how to do that, and click on the long form. And that's where it can generate more interest. But also, the problem is if you get, let's say 50% of your subscribers that only watch your shorts, it will affect your whole channel, because the problem is when YouTube sends it out to that first batch, that's usually your subscribers. If they don't normally watch your long form content, they're not going to watch it, and YouTube will think it's a bad video. So you've got to do it in proportion and not overdo it until you've got to a certain level, because otherwise you could actually do more damage by doing more shorts, if that makes sense.
I know.
It's just a case of being careful. And what I like to do is I will do shorts on like Instagram and TikTok and lead them to my YouTube long forms.
Do you know what? Actually, because I watch a lot of YouTube growth videos as well, and something that I only heard today is, so this is from somebody at vidIQ who said, your shorts might not do well straight on YouTube. Post them on, this is the way I understand they said it. Post them on TikTok, then revamp them and post again. So revamp them and post 3 times or something.
Right.
Then put it on YouTube and it'll get loads more viewers. I don't understand that. Why?
I know YouTube likes the fact if you're pulling people to your channel from another platform. And that's where actually, let's say you've got a short on, I don't know, TikTok or Instagram, something like that, and that pulls people through to your long form. YouTube loves that. So then it pushes it out to more people. So again, I know there's elements of that, but that's the way to do it, so that if you've got a smaller audience, that's the way to do it, to not risk it damaging your channel. Put the shorts out on the other platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, and then put a link to your full YouTube video on there and put for full video, click here, and then it brings them through to your long form. So they know that they're clicking on your channel then to watch long form.
Right.
If that makes sense. But yeah, and again, there's no perfect answer, because there are channels out there that make a fortune out of shorts, but they're the ones that get 20 million views plus on their shorts, which I don't think, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think I've ever seen a resin short that's had that many million views.
I forgot one of my cats was in here.
But I am going to pre-warn people. Oh, he or she's gorgeous. But I am going to pre-warn people in chat. We're approaching the hour. So if you've got any last-minute questions that you want to ask, now's the time to put them in caps lock. And also, I just want to remind people, if you're one of my channel members, you've got another 9 hours to send me your address if you want your piece of art. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to send them because of these new tariffs. And I don't want to risk getting hit with a load of tariffs to send out resin art. So what I would say is, if you're one of my channel members and you haven't already sent me your address, please email me your address, because I want to get these out. The first 40 packages went out yesterday, which was an awful lot of posting from those 30 days of giveaways. But that means that I've still got about 25, 30 addresses that haven't been sent. So if you can make sure you send them through. And do you know what? Even if you have sent it through, just resend it now, and I'll cross-reference it to the list to make sure that it goes out. So, sorry, just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that.
I'm having a bit of a daze watching my cat anyway.
Lynn, I've already got somebody else that I'm going to ship to in Canada, so please do send me your address. If you remember, that was one of the perks when I did the promotion. I want to send you a piece. Stupid tariffs. How do the tariffs work? So basically, just to give people a bit of an update on that as well, because if you're thinking of selling stuff and you're thinking of selling to the States, Etsy has pretty much said that 90% of their small sellers that are based in the UK will not, and other parts of the world will not ship to the States. Now, the reason why is the tariffs. The way they're supposed to work is it's down to the individual who buys whatever item it is from that country to pay the tariff. But if the person doesn't, then they come after whoever sent it for that tariff, is the way that I understand it. So if I'm sending somebody something that's worth, I don't know, £5-6, and I get hit with a tariff, it already adds to that postage, what goes out as well. And also the other thing to watch out for as well is customs charges at the minute. I know Laura from Laura's Art Corner, she tried sending me a parcel the other week. I had to pay a £25 customs charge to receive it. So again, that's why it's not that people don't want to ship to the States. They probably do, because again, it's a great audience out there. But the problem is with these tariffs, they don't want to risk being hit with large bills, what they're going to have to pay on top of the already expensive postage, which even if you cover it, the problem is the fact that obviously they could still get hit with those tariffs if you don't pay them. So it's a little bit scary for a small business. So there you go. That's that. No, I've not actually, Lula. Lula's asking if anyone's seen Olga. I've not seen her for a few weeks, so I hope she's okay. There we go. Tina's saying she's going to sub to you as well when this is all over. So that'll be another one. And what are you asking me to pin, Lisa, just so I know? Oh, I'm getting a message. Can I pin Lula's link? I'm going to have to log into my studio. Hang on a second. Because I'm actually doing this through the StreamYard app, but I should be able to pin it. Give me 2 seconds. And it gives everybody a chance to go and subscribe, because I wanted to have a quick look and see what you're at now. I'm hoping we can get you over 130 on this live, and then hopefully over 150 when it goes out to everybody else. So I'm just going on the channel. You want me to pin the link? Hang on a second. Ignore it. There we, and I'll mute myself. Here we go. Luna, can you put that link back in chat and I'll pin it? Well, I'll pin that once. So I've just pinned your channel as well if anybody wants it. Very small the other day, which is good. Well, 9 days ago, so hopefully she's okay. Olga, if you're watching this back, let us know that you're okay. And I'm just looking for a comment from Lula. Oh, it's done. Okay, it was your channel, I think, that they wanted me to pin. So I've pinned that now. I can come out of this and get the sound back. So can everybody hear me okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we could still hear you while that were going on.
No, it's just I need to go into my studio to pin a comment because I can only star it in StreamYard for some reason, and it doesn't let me pin a comment from there. But there we go.
I've got
there we go.
Right, I've got to tell Lisa she ran under bed again when I went to try and get her.
Oh, bless.
And I've got my advice for Lisa. Is it Lisa, the new girl who's not quite started yet?
I don't know. Lisa's got a channel.
No,
she's been going for a little while.
Who can I scroll up?
I'm scrolling up now. Frosty, Dawn, Petra, Mary, Sandy, McFufu, Stormy, Tina, Artsy Doodles, Louise, maybe.
Louise. I should have remembered that. That's my middle name. I would say play about with a couple of editing apps.
Yeah.
Just film anything. So I filmed my cats running around the living room or whatever. And then just play about with editing that video. And then you don't have to worry about messing up any resin videos. So I don't know if you're already recording yourself doing resin and then you're struggling to edit that. So if you are, don't touch your resin videos. Get us what I would call a scrap video, just anything around your house, and just play about with editing that. And then when you learn how to add a time lapse or how to add music on that scrap video, then you know how to do it with your resin video without having messed up your resin video.
And my biggest piece of advice, if you're just starting out, don't even worry about editing. Just click record and upload. Get your first few videos out there and then just do it 1% at a time. And as you get better, because you just need to get comfortable on camera first, you know. And the other thing I would say is just record a few videos of you talking to yourself on camera or something like that, and you'll get a lot more confident. It sounds really strange and it is a weird thing to do, but it's like, do you remember back in the day when you used to go for an interview, you might practice in a mirror? It's the same thing. Oh, the cat's running riot by the looks of things. Yeah, so again, Julie cuts from pouring your heart out, saying that she can't ship to the USA either, but due to current regulations. There's going to be a lot of companies doing that, guys. So just to pre-warn people, from the 29th of August, I think you'll find if you're in the States, you'll probably be better off ordering products from the States, which I think was the whole intentions when they put them into place. But it is what it is. Hopefully, in a few months' time, it'll all change again and everything will be back to normal. But any last questions from anybody? Because we've gone over that hour. Oh, Ben's Works has stopped shipping to the US as well. So that's Australia as well as the UK that aren't doing it. Oh, Netherlands as well, Petra's saying. So I think, yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into politics on this channel, Dawn, but I agree from a concept point of view. I think where they're hoping longer term it will benefit the US is that they have to manufacture these products in the US, but they'll be a lot more expensive because they're going to have to pay the US rates to manufacture them. So we'll see how it all pans out with that. But it's going to be interesting over the next 12 months. Okay. Okay. Lynn's saying the tariffs are stupid. Yeah. But there we go. I think it's just, yeah. Personally, I think, and it was like when the UK left the EU and things like that, I think you're better off working together with trade or whatever it is to help both economies. But that's just my point of view. I'm not a politician. And I think the more you can work with other countries and try and support each other, the more both should grow. It's a bit like resin and supporting each other in the community. But there we go. Anyhow, I've started doing this at the end of each Q&A live as well. So have you got any questions that you want to ask me?
I've got a question, but it could be for you or anybody who might know the answer. So I downloaded the vidIQ extension.
Yeah.
And this is back in June-ish time. It's for when I did the Jurassic collab, because the Jurassic collab is the only AI thumbnail that I've got.
Yeah.
And that was because vidIQ made that for me. And I thought, that's lovely. And it's not too far removed from what my sort of finished project should look like.
Yeah.
Other than that, I hate using AI thumbnails because I don't want to mislead the person as to what I'm making. I don't mind using an AI background, but it's got to be my product on the photo. Anyway, the point, let me get back to vidIQ. I'm a bit of a rambler. So I downloaded vidIQ. They got me, it gave me this thumbnail, great, lovely, whatever. Now, when I downloaded vidIQ, I knew that I was giving them access to my whole Google account, not just linking them to my YouTube, giving them access to my whole Google account.
Yeah.
A couple of days later, I got a Google security alert.
Yeah.
And so I panicked and uninstalled vidIQ. Now, I know vidIQ is trusted by many, and, you know, Mr. Beast probably uses vidIQ. I don't know, either that or he's beyond caring.
He's probably got his own version of it now.
Yeah. But
Beast IQ. But yeah.
But I just, even though I know that it's probably vidIQ in the background doing what it does, I can't cope with getting security alerts.
Depends on your firewalls, what you've got set up.
The one time you ignore it, it might be someone else genuinely hacking your account and you need to do something about it. I was just curious, does everybody else who uses vidIQ get Google security alerts? And if so, do you just ignore them, or did it make it?
I did initially, but I don't now. I did for the first sort of month, I think it was, of using it. I used to get security alerts coming through because of my internet security that I've got set up on my laptop. But it depends, what settings you've got it set up on. If you've got it on high settings, it will always give you a prompt whenever there's anything running in the background anyway. But I think vidIQ is probably one of the more secure ones. So it's a risk you either choose to take or you don't use it. And it's because Google Chrome is very secure with any of the apps that you install in. As soon as they have access to other things, I think that's where it's almost ultra protective to make sure that you're aware that they have. But Kernix is saying that, there we go. Yeah, so it's not open access. It accesses the data via a back-end API, if that makes sense. Bit technical for me. But if you want to explain that, that'd be great. Nikki, or I think it's probably Kirk putting that in. Mary doesn't get it, but she's got the paid version. I don't know if you've got the free version or the paid.
I got it free for 2 days.
Petra doesn't get the security alerts. I think I've had about 2 at the start, but that's it. I haven't had any since. But again, if you're talking different editing softwares, that's like even CapCut, there's been that big hoo-ha recently, because as part of their terms, when you click OK, they have that they can use your content in any way they want, apparently, which is a little bit naughty. Don't get me wrong, I don't think they'll be using my content for anything else, but you never know, I suppose. Oh, it is Nikki. Sorry, Nikki. I didn't mean to presume it was Kirk. It's just I know that Kirk's very technical. Not to offend. It is Nikki because Kirk's driving. So there we go. But no, I appreciate that. But yeah, I would say, or the other thing is ChatGPT. ChatGPT 5's out now.
Oh,
and
ChatGPT.
if you click on picture mode, it can pretty much do the same thing.
I can't say ChatGPT, but yeah. Okay. I now use that to give me title and description ideas, but I tried using it for thumbnail pictures and I didn't like it. And
do you change it to picture or not? Because it's got different modes on ChatGPT.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, so do you know in the little search bar where you type your prompt?
Yeah.
On the left-hand side, you can click it and it gives you a drop-down, ChatGPT 4, 5, and then there's picture mode. I would always go on picture mode if you're wanting a picture because it's a lot more effective. So what I would do is just use the normal mode to type in your prompt and say, I'd actually get it to do the work. So create me a prompt for an AI thumbnail featuring this, this, and this. I want this in the background, that sort of thing. And then paste that into the picture mode, and then you'll get the best results.
I can't see that option. But
should be just in the search bar on the left-hand side. If you're logged in, you should be able to just click it. Are you doing it on a phone or on the laptop?
I'm on the phone at the moment. I can do it on laptop as well.
You might have to do it on the laptop. So literally where the search bar is. Hang on, let me see if I can show you. Let's see if I can share my screen. Let's see if it loads and then I can share my screen and show you. Loading. Okay, so can you see? No, you can't because I've not shared it. Share screen. You should be able to hopefully see my screen. Yeah?
Yep.
So this is just ChatGPT 5. So ChatGPT.com at the top, just make sure you've got 5 enabled. And then this little plus button here, you can choose create image on this drop down. So what I would do is, I don't know, create me an AI thumbnail for YouTube featuring
found it.
Giant dinosaur, I don't know, made from resin with flying pigs in the background. Let's make it random, you know. Thumbnail prompt. So you would do that in the initial bit, and then it'll come up with it. So we're going to do this live. Woo! Okay, and then we're just going to copy that. And then down here, the plus button, we're going to change that to create image. And then it changes down there to describe an image. And then we're going to paste that prompt in. And we'll see what it comes up with. And this should be quite a funny one, hopefully, when it loads.
But, well, whilst it's doing that, do you know these coasters I've got?
Yeah.
I asked it to do a beachy background for these.
Well, I'll remove this whilst it generates.
And it put an extra fish on. It put an extra fish on.
All right.
So even though, I mean, I didn't even spot it at first. It looked like that coaster. And I just asked it to change the angle or something. Make them look like they were a bit more in the beach. I can't remember what I asked it to do. And it's only when it did it again that I realized there was an extra fish on. And I'm like, and I scrolled up and I'm like, it had put an extra fish on the first time. And so I told it to remove that extra fish and I only want a beach background. Do not change this image. And it did it again.
Yeah.
And so even though this looked exactly like this, but because there was an extra fish on, I was like, no, I'm not using it.
No, but the other thing is just say leave a blank circle and then you can cut and paste that, your actual piece on it in something like Canva. I do that sometimes. So I'll say, have me holding a coaster leave the coaster as a blank circle, and then I'll just cut and paste an image of my actual art into that piece. Here we go. There's the resin dinosaur with pigs flying in the background it just created.
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
So there you go. That was just to show you guys the process more than anything else. But there's a way to do it, and that's free, obviously, if you use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't always use that. I use one called Pixels, which costs me $40 a month, which is a lot of money. But I still have to edit them because it never gets it perfect. And then what I do is I download them and then I'll edit them in Canva so I get it the way that I want. And I think it's especially with things like text, it seems to struggle.
Yeah.
But there we go. So just congratulations as well to Mary as well. I've just seen that she's put in there. She's just had a notification. She's got 600,000 views. Woo!
How do you, I've got another question. How do you, I might know the answer, but I may as well ask it anyway. You know, when you've done a live and you're using epoxy, how do you cope with being able to watch the chat whilst working with epoxy? Because like I say, I did one live, but I was just piddling about with UV and I was able to go like that. And you know what I mean?
The way I do it when I do a creation live is, you see my little cradle there?
Yeah.
That'll be the camera that's recording.
Yeah.
And I'll tend to be stood up so I can see the chat just coming up on the left-hand side.
On your left-hand side? So what, have you got your laptop next to you? Or?
No. Laptop's normally behind me, but my phone is going to be that way round, recording the piece.
Right.
Yeah? So with the camera there, but then the chat will still pop up on the on the screen.
You're recording and live streaming on the same device?
Same phone, yeah, on the same phone. So I've downloaded my YouTube studio onto this phone, and I can just click record, go live from YouTube studio on this phone, and then that way it's recording live whilst the chat's popping up at the same time.
Because when I did it, I had my phone up on its arm contraption, and I was watching the chat from my laptop at the side of me, and I'm like, because you know what, I want to get into doing more lives because I think on my videos my voice sounds so boring. I think I sound like this.
I think we all think that.
People don't see my personality.
Yeah, not about your voice, by the way. I think we all think that about our own voices, just to clarify. But no, I get what you mean. And I love doing the creation lives as well. Now, what I will say is I tend to get less views on those because they're less edited. Yeah. So when you're growing a channel, my recommendation would be to do more of your long form if you can, because that's what's going to really grow your channel. And I think that's where my focus would be until I've hit that first milestone. Once I've hit that milestone of, I don't know, 1,000 subscribers, and I know I can get monetized, that's when I'd start experimenting with more things, because I think there's a lot of people that will watch a long form video, but they won't watch a live. And I think if I look at my views, there's only like 25% that will watch a live, and the rest, it's mainly long form, and I get about maybe 10% from the short form.
Because you've got to watch the boring bits as well, aren't you, if you're live? Unless you're part of a small network of friends and you're all just chatting friendly anyway, so you're not bothered about what you're actually watching, you're just chatting anyway.
Yeah.
But
so Tina's just saying that she missed how I did my phone. So basically, I have got standard YouTube on this phone as an app, yeah? So I'll go onto that, which is the YouTube app when it loads. And then I get a plus button at the bottom, and I can go live. And then the chat will pop up on the side as I'm filming. So I can see what I'm filming, and then the chat will pop up on the side, if that makes sense. But you need to have it on the phone that you're recording on for that to work. Julie's Ann, no, that was AI generated, the axolotl suit. I don't actually own that onesie, although I would probably wear it. If I had it, I would wear it. But no, that was AI generated. But no, that was a great little axolotl as well. But no, I know a few of you have just popped in chat and said that you missed the daily lives. That was a 30-day thing, guys, and I'm still having to post everything out. We're not finished with that yet. But what I am hoping to do over the next couple of weeks is I'll be fully on top of my videos and back to being a month ahead, which means I'm going to start doing every fortnight a creation live as well. So you're going to get a creation live twice a month, as well as my normal content. Lisa's saying I only wear my axolotl onesie at bedtime. But yeah. But no, any last questions before we close this one out? But again, it's been amazing to have you on, Sheri, as well. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Thank you.
In fact, let me just have a look. I want to see how many subscribers you're on now. Hang on. I'm just plugging in. Da, 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 da. And what were you on? 114, was it?
113. All
right. So you are now on, at the end of this live, 126. And obviously, if anybody's watching this afterwards, please subscribe. And again, I'll tell you what, just for fun, because I want to try and get a few more comments in this live, because that's why these lives don't get pushed out. There's not a lot of engagement. I want people to give it a thumbs up, and I want you to put in comments. I don't know, put anything you like. Put what you think of my clock, something like that in comments. Put whatever you want. Put if there's a project that you want to see maybe Sheri do and me do, and we could have a bit of a collab.
Put Sheri's a wackadoo. Sheri rambles, or Sheri was straight in there telling us about what was I straight in there telling you about? I can't remember now.
Sheri's
got 4 cats and she's UV resining 4 of them, and she did a live about it.
Put Andy's mods are awesome. Put that if you want. And yes, KD, I said clock. And you've got to be very careful how you say that, especially with this audience. But no, massive thank you. It's been great to meet you as well, Sheri, and hopefully we can get you over 150 over the next couple of weeks.
You're the one who sort of brought me into the YouTube side of things, and yet this is the first time you've seen my face.
It is. It's the first time we've actually met.
Yeah.
It's the first time you've seen my face.
No, it ain't.
Well, apart from that, yeah, fair point actually on the live. Actually, this is the second time I've seen your face, because I saw it pop up on another live a few days back. So.
Oh, did you? And there was a video I did, which I actually did a facial intro.
Right. Okay.
I'm sort of testing doing facial intros. But again, I think I put people off with my voice like this. Today we're going to be doing...
Everybody's got their own unique voice. And I love it, because, again, as we get people from all around the world in different parts of the country, everyone's got a different accent. I need to get somebody from Manchester on the channel, and I want to get somebody from Liverpool on the channel, and I want to get somebody Irish on the channel, just so we can have all of those different accents as well. Whereabouts in the UK are you based? Is it sort of Lancashire way or...
West York. Well, there you go. I'm in West Yorkshire. I was born in West Yorkshire and lived there till 14, and then my mum moved us over to Lancashire, and I came back to West Yorkshire at 27. So at age 27, I'd lived half and half in the red rose and the white rose.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been in West Yorkshire since 27, since I was age 27. And if I didn't give you a clue already, I did. I'm not exactly young anymore.
Okay.
So I've lived my majority of my life in West Yorkshire.
Okay. You don't look particularly old, by the way. So.
Thank you.
But no, everyone's now
starting to ask, because
everyone in chat is now being rude about my clock. As you can imagine, there's always a rudeness element to this community. They can never just keep it PG.
Yeah, but what's the common factor? It's you.
Probably. I don't know, but there we go. But yeah, if everybody could do me a favor and just put something in comments, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a share if you can, because that'll really help. It will not only help me, but it will also help Sheri get more subscribers so that her channel can grow, which is what this is all about. What fun is PG? Well, this show is PG most of the time, guys. So, but no, it's been great seeing everyone again on chat. And if you want, this weekend, I might do another creation live if I can get round to it. And I don't know what I'll do, but do you know what? Put in comments what you'd like to see me do on a creation live. That'll help. Put Andy has the bestest mods. You can put that if you want. Put whatever you want. Put Sheri is great. You know, we loved meeting her cats. You know, put whatever you want. It's all going to help. Oh, Frosty saying the butterfly video is a favourite. Well, I'm actually working on another UV project at the minute. Just testing a few ideas with Beauty and the Beast. And I'm doing it directly on paper to see what it's like when I can remove it at the end of it.
Similar to what I'm doing with my cats then.
Yeah, but we'll see. But it does bubble up on paper. I've noticed that a little bit. But I think that adds a textured effect. So there we go. But no, it's been brilliant having everybody in. Finger red number 1. Finger red. What? I don't know what Sandy's going on about there. But there we go. Cats and clocks. Okay. I'm the Beast. Who's the Beauty? I don't know. You guys decide. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So we're going to wrap this up. Thank you everyone for joining. Who's joined on Insta and Facebook as well. It's been great having everyone here, and we'll be here the same time next week. Now it's going to be a surprise guest. I'll be honest with you. The reason it's a surprise, I've had a cancellation, and I'm going to reorganize from guests that we've got fully booked over the next 6 weeks and see who can swap around. And if not, I will pull somebody out of the bag and make sure we've got somebody on. But I'll confirm that with you guys this weekend as to who it's going to be next Tuesday. Appreciate everyone being here. Lovely to meet you, Sheri. And enjoy your resin. And don't forget, Sheri said, watch her video on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget.
Best ever piece.
It's my best ever.
So that is the one that's worth watching. So from me, from Sheri, and from the giant clock, I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.